Hey guys, what's up? I'm Slim and you're watching Slimothy TV. In this video, I have a really cool one for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at this Vobot Mini Dock. Now this is supposedly the world's first docking station with a screen on it, and they've even thrown in a little controller here to be able to play emulated games. So this seems really cool, very unique. This product is not yet launched, I don't think, but maybe by the time this video is up very soon thereafter, it will be live and you guys will be able to pick one of these up for yourself. Of course, links to everything will be down below, but let's go ahead and crack it open and see what it looks like. Now, before we do, this is just a very simple box here because this is a pre-production unit, I believe. So yours will probably look a little different, but of course I have to give a big thank you and shout out to Vobot for sending this product and the controller out free for review. I'm super excited to see what this looks like because most docking stations these days are kind of outdated and pretty boring. So hopefully this one will bring some useful features to the dock. So here it is, Vobot Mini Dock, the ultimate screen dock combo for enhanced productivity. And you can see there, you got the weather, you got the time, and of course it is actually a docking station so you can charge up multiple devices at once. Look at this, you've got a Ethernet port on the back, you've got HDMI. There's even a light on this thing. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Wow, this is a lot smaller than I was expecting. Most docking stations are really big. Let's go ahead and wipe some of this dust off here. And there it is. So that's the front. Here is the back with a cool transparent design. We got some rubber on the bottom to give it some grip. 2 USB-C slots on the side there. For peripherals, we've got USB-A, we've got Ethernet, we've got HDMI, and a PD 100-watt input port right there. There is a light bar right across the top here. Here is the little scroll wheel to go through different options. We have a button here, and this is for the computer. And as you can see there, this is 90-watt max. So this can charge up your MacBook Pro, even the big one, without much issue. So let's see what else we've got in here. Looks like we've got a USB-C to USB-C cable. It does say USB 3.2 on it right there. 10 gigabits per second. Feels high quality, nice braided cable. And these ports look good. So anyways, let's go ahead, put this off to the side and take a look. Now, real quick, I do want to unbox the VR 3D gamepad and remote just to show you guys what this looks like. Nothing else in the box. Set that off to the side. And I think yours might look a little different than this once you get it, but it does have a bit of an instruction manual. I doubt we'll need this for a little remote here, but here it is. This is what it looks like. Very cool looking remote here. You got a D-pad. Got buttons. Almost feels like it has batteries included. Let me check. Well, that back is a little bit difficult to get off, so I'm gonna leave it on there. I think it has batteries in it, so we will find out in a bit. Anyways, that's the remote. We'll set that over here and we'll take a look at that in a minute. First, I wanna power this thing up and see what it's like, so let's go ahead and do that right now. So I'm gonna plug it into the input port right here on the back, and I'm gonna plug this straight into the wall jack here, and there we go. And look at that. It is booting up. Very cool. Any flickering you see here is just because of the camera. It is not doing that in real life. We have a light bar. Oh my gosh, look at that. Super cool, super unique design. I've never seen a docking station like this, and trust me, I deal with tons of different docks. First thing is, it looks like I have to set it up on my Wi-Fi network. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, I can kind of scroll through this. But yeah, let me go ahead and set this up and we'll be right back. All right, so I do see it right here. So we'll click on that. All right, and now it's got a little screen here. I'm gonna go ahead and enter that information so it can connect to the Wi-Fi. All right, it took a couple tries there, but it did eventually get connected, so we are all good. It is going to do a software update, so we're gonna do that right now, and we'll go from there. So be back in a minute. Looks like it is downloading that firmware right now. It is really cool to see an internet-connected docking station. Obviously, if you're paranoid about Internet of Things and having things connected to your Wi-Fi, you can obviously segment this onto an IoT-only network if you're worried about that. But if you want something that has some extra functionality, this is the way to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this install and then we'll be right back. All right, guys, looks like that update is complete. And here we go. So it is all installed. It took a couple minutes there. You guys can check the time on the clock. But let's first talk about the hardware. So this thing is pretty lightweight, which some might consider good, but obviously that can make you wonder about the quality of the device just because it's mostly made out of plastic here. And this little knob is also plastic. So hopefully in the future, they can upgrade that to metal or something just to make it feel a little more substantial. I do worry that it might break off at some point. I don't know. Let's go through some of the options here. So you got a Pomodoro Timer, you got calendar, we've got weather, we've got game emulator, we've got screen mirroring, now playing, settings, PC hardware monitoring, Todoist, cryptocurrency, stock, weather. All right, and we're back. So let's click on the calendar, and that is pretty cool. So when you are working, it might be nice to have the time and a calendar with a month view in front of you. I would actually definitely use that. Let's go ahead and back out of that. We've got weather, so let's go ahead and click on that. Looks like we have to do this online, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. So now that I'm logged in on their web portal, I can go ahead and choose my time zone. I can choose the app settings, finance. I can add different stocks here, so I can click on stock, and we'll go ahead and save that configuration. I can change that if I want. I can go back here. Let's see. Let's go into weather, and we'll go ahead and get that loaded in. And let's just go ahead and validate that. Cincinnati, Ohio. Looks good. Save config. And it did it. You can see down here, the screen mirroring and the game emulator are both kind of experimental right now. But of course, if you go to the game emulator, you can go ahead and upload your own game file if you have one, and you can play that right here on the screen. And you can even use this gamepad controller to play it. So that's really cool. It is currently kind of in a beta test state. So here we go. We've got the weather, clear skies, 35 degrees Fahrenheit. I got the city up there. And this is really cool. So this is something I could see being very useful on your desk. You know, before you have to go out somewhere, you can take a quick glance at the weather. Very nice. I like that they have that in here. Let's see, can we scroll? Nope, that's all that's in there. So very cool there with the weather. Let's go to the stocks and let's take a look at those. We'll let it load up here. And you guys can see in the background behind my hand, the colors keep changing, which is cool. So this has pulled all of those stocks that you guys already saw the tickers for, and I can scroll through them here. Looks like Google's the only one that's off the page. Very nice. So you can add anything you want, including cryptocurrency, which we will click on that right here and let it load. Here it goes. And there we go. We've got the price of Bitcoin, which is crazy high right now. Wow, I did not know it was that high. I should probably check my crypto and see how much money I have now. But let's go ahead and exit out of that. We've got Todoist, so you can connect your account there and go ahead and keep track of all those things. It's got PC hardware monitoring. I don't know that that works on Mac, so I'm not going to mess with that. We got settings here. We got network settings, app settings, locale, display and sound, miscellaneous. So for example, if I click on application settings, it's just going to give me a QR code to go to this page and change those items. Under my device, you can get information like your storage usage and things like that. So let's go ahead and back out of settings. And we'll go to now playing. So you can see what's playing on your phone via Bluetooth. I don't believe this has any speakers on it, but it will show you guys what is actually currently being played, which is really cool. Then we have screen mirroring and game emulator, like I mentioned. We also have a Pomodoro timer. So if you're into that, you guys can easily start that right here. But I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that because I personally don't use the Pomodoro timers, but I know people that do and they love it. I would probably keep it on the calendar or the weather. Now, I think in the future, what I would love to see is the ability to have it scroll. So I would love to have it go to the calendar and weather and maybe switch every 30 seconds or so. I think that would be super clutch. Now, we've just talked about the software on this, but let's go ahead and talk about the hardware. First of all, it is plugged in right now, so it has got full power. But of course, this is a docking station, so you can go ahead and plug in a bunch of different devices. And we're just going to do that right now just to show you guys that this does work. So I'm just going to plug in a very basic MagSafe charger for the iPhone. So we'll go ahead and plug that in. And of course, it charges up without issue, as you can see right there. MagSafe charger has no issue with this docking station. Now in the studio, I don't currently have an Ethernet jack to test that out, but that is clutch to have a 1 gigabit Ethernet port right on the back of this docking station. Hopefully in the future, they could even do a 2.5 gig port. That would be a cool upgrade. Those of us that have over 1 gig internet. Since this is a docking station, but I think 1 gig is plenty for most people. And then right here you have HDMI. So of course you could use that with your Mac's display to kind of get another screen going with this docking station. Now when sitting on your desk, it's gonna look something like this. So let's go ahead and set it to how I would have it. So I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna select weather. And this is exactly how I would have it setting on my desk. And this is what it would look like. Usually the day of the week, the time, AM, PM, plus the weather. This is 100% how I would use it. This extra RGB LED in the back is just icing on the cake. Now, before I go, I'm gonna quickly go over some of the other features just so that you guys have an idea. When I mentioned the now playing screen, that can also show you message notifications and things right from your iPhone. So you just connect it to Bluetooth and they'll show up right there. Now, in theory, you could program your own apps to run right here. So if you are programmatically inclined, you can go ahead and do that as well. But I will say I really do like kind of the dot matrix design here for the time, just because that is very easy to distinguish from the screen on the side. So you can always quickly glance over at the time. So the pros of this, pretty much everything you've seen in this video. The only cons are hopefully in the future, the build quality will go up just a bit. While I like the small and compact and lightweight form factor, I think a little bit of added weight will go a long way. The screen obviously had a couple scratches on it just from the factory, but again, this is a pre-production unit. I don't think yours will be like that. Also, a matte display might be kind of cool instead of glossy, just to cut down on reflections. And then this knob, if it could be metal or just feel a little more substantial, that'd be great. But I will say, having a knob on the side is much better than just a couple of buttons that feel super cheap. I think this knob really helps with the interaction with the device. I almost always love when a company includes a knob on the side instead of just hard buttons like this one. So it's kind of like an Apple Watch. So it's got that circular knob that you're used to, and then this button to go back. I just think that was a very good decision on Vobot's part. And then the only other small gripe is that I wish these lights down here were just a bit brighter. And as you can see, the brightness is already at 90%, but I can of course change that up to 100% if I want, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave that at 90%. Ambient light right here, you can change it to breathing, flowing water, gradient, or off. So I really like that you can turn that off if you want, and you can turn on sleep mode if you don't want it to bother you at night with a set time. Of course, you can enable or disable the buzzer if you'd like. Anyways, guys, if you are looking for a super futuristic mini dock with a screen, this is the one to look at. It doesn't take up much space on your desk. In fact, here's an iPhone 15 Pro. Just for size comparison, it is smaller than it lengthwise, as you can see here. And that's the thickness. Very cool light bar. It shines very well. Yeah, so hopefully this will be on sale soon and you guys will be able to pick it up. Links to it down below. You want to follow the development and see when it's ready. That's all I got for this video, guys. If you liked the video, hit it with a big thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.